Hello everybody, and thank you so much for tuning back in for another episode of the Soulver Weekly Forecast. We've had a few people write in and they want to know about what's happening with the living crisis and also with the housing situations around Australia specifically.
I feel so sad.
Everyone,
I feel so sad
so
for them.
horrible.
Because it's hard, guys, and it's really difficult, and I want to make it okay for you all. But we're going to ask the cast today about timing around things, when things are going to change, when things are going to get better. I have a horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach that they're going to get worse before they get better. So, but let's ask, okay, when are things going to change financially for the people of Australia and our housing and living crisis that we currently have here?
Yeah, there's been so many things online and on social media, stuff like that. A lot of politicians coming out as well, like representatives, CEO of Woolies, mid-interview, couldn't do it anymore. He's gone in September, but still upped and left. So it's like they can't even deal with how much backlash everyone is suffering. But we just want to know, like,
and how can you justify something, that you've bought for years going up $1.50 in a week?
Yeah,
it is literally that bad.
And it doesn't seem like much, but it's everything. It adds up.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So the general consensus here is that we're all waiting for this offer out of the blue, almost like godlike, in some kind of help here, because no one on the ground is actually doing anything about it. Things just seem to be getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
I think that in some ways this is a bit of a wake-up call for all of us to learn not to put so much trust and hope into our system that we currently have in place, that there has to be, some of us have to stand up and say no, particularly about things like the cash system, for instance, wanting to get rid of that. I mean, that would be terrible.
Yeah, again,
on
so much
many
of that
levels.
As well, coming out.
And so, I mean, I think what's going on here is that we're almost being forced into the control factor, and we've got to start saying no.
No,
Oh, and here we go.
Great,
Broadening our horizons, finding different ways of doing things, okay? So that's a very, very important message to take away from this current crisis. We need to find different ways of doing it. If we can't do it one way, we have to do it another. I suppose I liken this to like poaching, for instance, when they were, stealing the ivory from the elephants. What did they do? Well, they locked them up to start with, but that didn't work. So then they painted their tusks pink so that they were useless. Only to elephants. They were useful to elephants. That's it, right? So that actually, that was a different way of thinking about the problem, but it helped to solve the problem. So when we're actually looking at this in a bigger picture, we need to think outside the box. How are we going to help each other? Believe it or not, guys, we are going to get stronger through this. We are going to get stronger through this. So even though it's going to be a little ways down the track, and I keep being shown June, and I think that June is going to be a turning point. But funnily enough, Courtney, I keep feeling like the current government, I don't know how they would get voted out in the middle of their term or whatever, but I just have this feeling that there's something going to be shaken up in the government. Really.
Could it be, because it isn't June, July around tax time where people...
Yes, it is, It's a new
that could be their last sort of straw that they have. So it's only wow.
Or there could be a lot more politicians being shown up for, fraud or whatever it is that they're being shown up for these days. There always seems to be someone in the news about it. So I do think that there's going to be some stories coming out, things coming out, but most of all, people are going to be turning to businesses more on a basis of supporting their local, smaller entities rather than the big guys. So, I mean, I know everyone goes to Woolies and Coles for their food because it's just easy, but
convenient.
We need to start looking at other ways of doing things, really getting back to that mentality of helping each other. And this is the past card saying we need to keep the past in the past, leave it behind us. Don't give our money, our hard-earned money, and also don't give the power to the big Mongols, because why should they have it, right? This will then filter through everything. So we're talking about if this isn't working for them, if they're losing money, they're going to have to change their ways. It's as simple as that. This will start to filter down then through the land agents, through the landlords being able to, reduce prices. It's going to start filtering all the way down. So even if the cost of living is still high, people are going to have better housing or more affordable housing. There's going to be opportunities coming out of this by the people, not by the governments, but by the people themselves. And we are all standing up. See, this is the little battle card. I'm going to stand here and I'm going to fight for what I need, right? And it is a fight. However, the good thing to come out of this is going to be prosperity for all. So what we're going through at the moment is very much, it's the calm before the storm. I think once the storm hits, it's really going to push us into the recognition of we don't want this anymore. Everyone's going to stand up. I'm not saying there'll be civil war. I'm not saying that. But it's like that in the terms of no. And it's just going to be a flat no. There was something going around a few years ago that was being forced on people. Remember that?
Yep.
Just recently, that was ruled in the highest court in our country to say that it was actually illegal to do that. So we have to tread carefully when we're on this platform, but obviously that in itself is a win for the people.
Absolutely.
Just think these little wins are all going to add up in the long run. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, the final card that we pulled today is the death card. Now, that does not mean that someone's going to die, but what this does mean is we are going to have the death of the old system. And I think that the two-party preferred system in Australia is not looking too good at the moment. That's very interesting. So we'll see what happens. There's going to be a big change, and I feel this will come around November, towards the end of the year. There's going to be a huge shock that will come in from overseas that's going to ripple through Australia like you wouldn't believe.
Wow. That is huge, guys. And thank you so much, Alison, for all that insight.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching this week's Soulver Weekly Forecast. Be sure to give us a subscribe. It lets us know that you guys love the videos and that we can keep making more. Yes. And be sure to like this video. Share it around with those who you believe would resonate from it, would benefit from it. Put your comments down below, and we do also have a notification bell where you can click and it will give you notifications when we have new uploads. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.